Ashley Howard with Ashley Howard Teaches. If we haven't met, I am the homeschool mom to 5 precious children. I am so excited about sharing these tutor plans with you for week 6. So let's get started. So for geography, I like to get these little pom-pom balls out. They are so tiny. So what's great about these is I can get 5 for each child. So I get 5 for each child, and then they can put one on each geographic location. Now, I love this because they have the Aegean Sea. And to me, the Aegean Sea looks almost like an elf. So this reminded me of those top of those little elf hats. So that's why I chose these little balls. Now, you don't have to use that. You can stick with a traditional dry erase marker, and that's great. But I think it's fun to have new manipulatives each week that they can put on their maps. So I have them put these on there. We'll do that a couple times. Then we'll go through and we'll trace our locations with our dry erase marker. We'll erase those. I like to go through and dot them next. So we'll go through and dot each one. And then I like for them to put their pins down, and they will look at me as we go through each location. And I will point it at the map. We'll repeat it together a couple of times, and then we will be done with geography. So that's how we do for geography this week. Now we will move on to history. So for history this week, we are going to talk about some ancient Greeks. So for our poet, we will go like this, like we are writing. And then for our mathematician, we will use our number fingers like this. And then for our philosopher, I like the traditional sculpture, which is going like this. So I have them do that. For philosopher, you can just have them point to your head if you want to. And then for inventor, I like to go like this, like I'm hammering something. And then for shaped, I like to go like this. I tell them we're pretending like we're modeling some Play-Doh. So shaped. And then for Western, I put out our W in sign language and go like this. And for ideas, we'll point to our head. For ancient, I like to point behind us. And then for city-states, I like to turn in a circle. So we'll turn in a circle. And then last, for democracies, we'll go out like this. So what I like to do for history is go through our hand motions 2 or 3 times. I like them to really know them before we sing the song. Then I will put the music on, and I'll let them sing through it with the hand motions 2 or 3 times also. Then after we have done all of those, I like to get a manipulative out. So we might get some shakers, we might get some streamers to go around with, but I like to do that 2 or 3 times to kind of break that up and keep us moving in different directions. So then let's move on to English. So for English this week, we are still doing prepositions. Now, like I've said before, and I've said it again and again, there's a wonderful video for prepositions for English. I don't want to take any of their ideas and show them on here because I want you then to get the credit for their video. So please see in the description below, I have it linked as the preposition song under videos you might like. So be sure and check them out. It's a great dance, great hand motions, and you'll love it. So then we move on to science. So science this week, we have some more fun hands-on science motion. Now for science, we are talking about vertebrates. So last week we talked about invertebrates without a backbone. Now we are talking about vertebrates with a backbone. So this one has a really catchy tune, and I have no idea who made this catchy tune up, but it goes like this. Fish, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, birds. So we know what our vertebrates are, and that's a fun way to sing. I love the tune, it's catchy. My kids sing it throughout the week without me even asking them. So it's a neat one. Now for hand motions for fish, we'll pretend like we're a fish swimming around with our hands. And then for amphibians, we will do a frog. So I like to go like this and say amphibians. So we'll hop up and down a little bit. And then for reptiles, I have a lizard that crawls on my hand. And then for mammals, I like to make a big M with my arms. And then for birds, we are going to fly like a bird. Now also another tip, on my board when I draw these, I like to draw, now I am not an artist, I like to draw a little animal beside each because a lot of mine are not real readers, so that helps them when they look on the board. It kind of gives them an extra clue as to what we are talking about. Now, while we are on that subject, things that I like to do, can I just add this really quick for presentations? I just encourage you to have your kids answer their questions when they give presentations, and at the end when they ask for questions or comments, I just encourage you to have those students answer with yes and the name of the person. So let's move on. We are going to move on to Latin. So for Latin this week, I pulled out these fun little hearts. Now I just had these collected from Valentine's Day, but you can also use these foam ones. And by the way, the kids that I tutored wanted to take all of these home, so I gave a bunch of these away. So they're a real hit. They like to take these home. So I put them out almost like hopscotch and let them skip over these, jump on these, almost like lily pads. So they got to jump on these as they said they're Latin. So they really like that. I did 2 different rows so they could do singular and plural, and I had everybody sing at the same time while they jumped on these. And then what I like to do is to spread them out a little bit more. So they practice with them spread out more. It makes it more of a challenge, more fun as they jump through these. I also love getting on CC Connected because they have great file sharing. So this is one of those that I picked up. I did not make this. I will not take any credit for this. So these are great for looking at for the students and for the parents. I just love this. So this is a cute one. I love to have this at home too, put up so that my kids can practice at home. So we definitely love doing this hopscotch game with our Latin. And now we will move on to math. So for 11s this week, when we look at our board, it's so fun to point out to the kids that it kind of goes in numerical order. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we start with our endings at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I like to point that out at the beginning. It's kind of neat for them. It was kind of one of those aha moments in the classroom. So that was fun. So for 11s this week, I made a giant maze in my classroom with just some painter's tape on the ground. So I made it all through the class. It squiggled all around, and they would follow that. And I would pull something out, and it might say 1 foot on the line. And so they had to balance 1 foot on the line as they jumped across this line and wherever it went. Or they might have to walk backwards. Or they might play a musical instrument. There are so many fun ways to put papers inside of a bag and have them pull them out, and it always be something different in your classroom. So I highly encourage you, don't just use the same ones week after week. Throw in some new ones. Throw in a crab walk, or throw in a twirl around. Throw something in that's different each week to keep it new, keep it fresh, keep it engaging. So for 11s, we also have to do jump roping. I like to put a line in front of each student and have them have jump roping arms. So we jump up and pretend like we're jumping rope. And so we'll put this line and they have to land on the line each time. So that is fun for 11s too. I also think it's fun to bring out some drums. Now, not the drums you're thinking. I'm thinking more tissue box, a little box that I have. I like to decorate it, and sometimes I'll bring some little paper towel rolls. And so we use those as our drumsticks. So real quick, let me interrupt with this. I started a T-Piece tea store, and I have it linked below. Now, I have hardly anything in there. I think I have a freebie for wholesome read-alouds, but I also just put up my new Spanish elementary unit. So I'm going to be adding to this unit over and over, so it'll be a huge bundle later on. But right now, I just have the units available. So what I'm doing is I'm starting with beginner Spanish, but at the conversational level. So let me just show you a quick preview, and we'll get back to tutor planning. I just wanted to show you this real quick. So they'll be able to do an all about me presentation. They'll learn their colors. They'll have a checklist of things to do every day. They'll go on scavenger hunts about different animals, and they'll learn their numbers. They'll learn their colors. It's all very interactive. You can print it out and put it in the little page protectors and practice all the time. So if you're looking for another foreign language and lots of fun practice, hands-on activities, that is what you should see. So I'll have it linked below for you as well. Let's get back to that tutor planning. So for 12s, I love to get something that I can flow in the air. Now I have extra legs, so sometimes I use those. Sometimes if I have extra scarves, those are perfect. So we have those in the airs, and we sing our songs as we float them in the air. I'll have them go up high as we sing our song. I'll have them go down low. They might throw throw them in the air, just something light and fluffy that they can kind of manipulate in the air and have fun with it. So I also always have shakers on board where if we're getting a little wild and crazy, we can just sit down and I can say, okay, let's sing them with our shakers. Let's sing really quiet and see if we can listen to the rhythm and use our shakers. So we go through and do that. We also love to pat the floor and sing our 12s. And we also love to snap our fingers and do our 12s. So those are some different fun ways. Now let's move on to fine arts. So fine arts this week, you know what I love about this is it's review. So anything goes. Now I don't mean just anything, but we get to review everything from the past weeks. So I like to go through each week and have a couple minutes to review what we've learned that week. So we'll go through oils and talk about what each part means. Now we only go 2 or 3 minutes because these kids are so smart and they know. So we'll go through that. We will talk about our horizon line. We'll talk about a vanishing point. We'll talk about mirror images. We'll talk about upside down drawings, and we'll just go through a little bit of each. So I love to do that. Now, my other thing I love to do is be super prepared. So I always bring more than I know that I need because I don't ever want to have 5 or 10 minutes in the classroom where I have no idea what to do. So let me encourage you, just always have extra on board just in case. So I love to go to the website Art Projects for Kids. So let me show you. They have step-by-step drawings. And what's great about this is you find the different things that we learned and you talk about them and have them do these drawings with you. I know it's tempting to just pass out papers, have them try these papers by themselves. But you know, I love to go through it with them and you will be amazed at the results. I am always so impressed by the way God uses these simple art plans to show his creativity because each child draws so differently. So this is one I did this last week and they did phenomenal. And these are littles. They did so good. So you will find a bunch of these. They have fall theme, they have winter theme, they have so many different themes. And they are so amazing. They do step by step. And for me, not being an artist, these were easy and they come out wonderful. So I highly recommend those for your last week of fine arts. It's a great way to talk about all the different things we learned about in CC, but in a fun, hands-on way where they come home with a wonderful project. Now, what I also like to do is give them plenty of time to color it. I like to play classical music so that they can color while they listen to this beautiful music. So that is fine arts this week. Now for review. One of my favorite all-time review games is bingo. There are so many ways to find this. At Target in the dollar section, a lot of times they'll have holiday themed bingo. They also have it on TPT. I've seen there's different bingos available. So you know what, check those out. It's a great way for everybody to stay engaged, for them to learn and for them to be excited. And you just ask a review question between each bingo piece that you call out. They get excited. I also like to have some prizes. It may be as simple as a sticker or a pencil, or maybe it's a sucker, or maybe a combination, but they get so excited about these little prizes. So it's so worth it for me, for them to be excited and engaged. So that is a great one to do for a review. So as always, thank you so much for stopping by. Guys, we hit 500 subscribers. I am so excited. When I see y'all's comments, my day just lights up. I get so excited hearing what you're doing, how tutor planning is going for you. I love to hear about your homeschool questions. Anything that you need, I'm happy to answer and happy to help. So keep those coming. Keep those comments coming. Let me know what you would love to see. Any free printables, any new curriculum reviews, anything about tutor planning. I am so happy to help. See you next time. Goodbye.